morning. Let us continue. Yes. So we have to discuss the new economic policy. Okay. Now, what is a new economic policy? In the year 1991 is a very important in the history of the modern India. Why? In this year, the new economic policy is came into the existence. Okay. So now, what happened during this period? The Dr. Manmohan Singh was appointed as a finance minister. Okay, now during this era, the economy goes on a very crisis situation. Okay, during the tenure of the Chandrasekhar as a prime minister, the inflation rate goes on increasing. It was 17%. Now, what is inflation? Inflation means is the rise in the price of a product. Okay, when there is a rise in a price of product, when it get rise in a price of product, when the currency get its value lower down in the international market, that time there is a inflation, there is a rise in the products of the commodity. Okay, so the inflation rate was 17% during the tenure of the Chandrasekhar. And the economic growth rate had gone down by 1.1%. And because of that, what happened? The foreign exchange reserves also not enough for the import for a week. And after that, what happened? A more situation get more critical when VP Singh government incurred. Incurred means take the burden. Okay. Incurred in the sense take a burden of a liability. Liability means debt. Okay, now what happened? The PV Singh, who was a finance minister and in the leadership of the Chandrasekhar, that he waived off the loans of the all farmers. Okay, and because of that, the liability of 10,000 crore was loaded to the government. Okay, and the gross domestic product was only 55%. Now, what is the gross domestic product? Gross domestic product in the sense the value of all the final goods and services in specific time period. Okay, for suppose for this year, at the end of the year, we are that government will analyze what is the value and how much the value of the goods and services. Okay, and that will decide the gross domestic product. And not only this, the loan which was in 1980 to 1981 just 2,350 crore dollars, it was increased by 1990 to 1991 8,380 crore dollars. Okay, so there is a very big change in the economy of the India. And not only this, the other situation, the situation get more worse when there is an increase in the oil price. And why it was increased? Because of the invasion of Kuwait by Iraq. Okay, so India got a very difficult situation to pay their loan. Okay, now the situation was very worse, but the situation should get solved. So some remedies should be given by the government. Okay, so what happened? PV Narasimha Rao appointed Dr. Manmohan Singh as a finance minister. Okay, so what he has done? first it work which he has done some changes. That first he removed the restrictions on the foreign investment. Okay, because there is a no restriction in the foreign investment, so there is a lot of foreign investment has been done, and it helps to get economy more stronger. Okay, then after that he given license to 18 industries. Okay, then uh, not only this, as we all have the mixed economy, so the government has taken the benefit of that also, and it allowed private sector to do investment in the public sector too. Okay, so because of that, what happened? The burden which was only with the government, that get bifurcated from the public sector and private sector. Okay, now, he established the Securities and Exchange Board of India in 1992. National Stock Exchange also computerized, and because of all this, a lot of changes has been done in the economy. Now, in during the first tenure only, the Dr. Manmohan Singh, as a finance minister, there is a lot of changes has been done. India is able to recover the gold mortgages. Now, what is a mortgage? The mortgage, in the sense, the thing, when we should borrow something with guarantee. Okay, that we will return it. Until that, we have to pay some loans. Okay, so India is able to recover the mortgages with the Bank of England, which it has put during the tenure of the that Chandrasekhar as a prime minister. Okay, so not only this, the government opened the telecom sector, mobile phone services across the country. And with that, Dr. Manmohan Singh also signed an agreement with the World Trade Organization, that is privatization, liberalization, and globalization. Now, before we understand about the World Trade Organization, let us discuss something. What is privatization, liberalization, and globalization? We called it is as LPG, not our cylinder gas. Okay, L for liberalization, P for privatization, G for globalization. Okay, now what is the liberalization? Can anybody give me the answer? What do you mean by the liberalization? Okay, liberalization in the sense to give equal opportunity, be liberal, give freedom to uh, no, that is privatization. Beta Balaji, that the answer you have given, that is for the privatization. Liberalization means to give freedom to establish the industries. Okay, and privatization. Yes, very good, beta. And privatization in the sense to give control of the industries to the private sector. That is privatization. And globalization means the world as a single market. We cannot say that privatization, it means that the all the public sector has converted into the private sector. Some got the some shares of the public sector, and some new industries were emerged during the privatization. Okay, as privatization get flourish, so because of that, many uh, rich people, we can say, they came out and they started many industries. Okay, and what happened because of the globalization? The whole world become a single market. Okay, now what happened? Uh, if we want something uh, uh, which is belongs to US. Okay, for example, if you want a Dell computer which belongs to US, so there is a no restriction. you can purchase your Dell computer or Dell laptop, sorry, not computer, laptop. Okay, there is a no restriction for that. Why? Because of the globalization. Okay, so in which year India became the member of World Trade Organization? In the year 1995. Okay, let us discuss some objectives of the World Trade Organization. The first objective was to free the trade between the country. Okay, means there should be freedom. Okay, yeah, between the countries for the trade. So what will happen? Export. If we export the things, so we will get more and more money. Okay, so it will helps to increase the value of currency. Okay, to put an end all those discriminatory laws. Okay, and restrictions, rules, and policies that are hurdles in the way of international free trade. Okay, the second objective to remove all the discriminatory laws. Okay, previously many laws has been made as per the situation of the country, of the different countries. So that laws have been released. Okay, and after that, every country got freedom to trade, whether it is a poor country or it is a rich country. They got equal status to trade in the global market. And the third goal was to regulate global trade with the help of a formal multi-party mechanism. Okay, multi-party in the sense where more than two parties are working together. That is called as multi-party mechanism. Okay, so now the third objective was to regulate the global trade with the help of the multi-party mechanization. So, okay, I hope you have understood the objectives. There are three objectives of the World Trade Organization we have discussed. Okay, now after that, general agreement on the tariffs and trade existed at the international level before the World Trade Organization came into being. Now, what was the duty of it? It regulates the commerce. Okay, now many of the India was not get support from all the citizens, or we can say the parties which were existed in the India to take the membership of the World Trade Organization, but still it takes. Okay, uh, so World Trade Organization have some provisions regarding the grant, the import, export, foreign investment, agriculture, technology, and services. And after that, what happened? As the India became the member of World Trade Organization, so many sectors get commercialized. For example, electricity, water, water transportation, education, and health. It get commercialized. Okay, now we can see there are private hospitals also and government hospitals also. There are private schools also, government schools also. In the sense, so what happened? The things get commercialized, and because of that, what happened? As the things get commercialized, so the industrialists, the entrepreneurs start giving the tax to the government, and slowly and gradually that the scale of the inflation goes down. Okay, now after that, after all this, India has some goals. Okay, that what were the goals? That it wants to reduce the below poverty line, that is BPL. Most of the citizens of India were living at the below poverty line. Okay, they may, in the sense they are not able to earn the basic food also. So what was the goal of the government? That we already discussed in the goals of the plans. Okay, and we have discussed in the 5-year plans also, that this goals, the poverty, to remove the poverty has not been achieved. Okay, so government has many program to reduce it. And not only this, there was a infant mortality. Now what is infant mortality? Infant is a newborn, mortality means the death. Okay, so government wants to reduce the infant mortality rate too. And how it will be get reduced by, now what was the reason for the infant mortality? Some for the superstitious and some for this not proper medical facilities. So government start working in both the aspects. And after this, availability of facility regarding drinking water and wastewater management. Now drinking water, now we can get water in our house by opening the tap, but previously it was not like that. People have to go to the well, they have to go to the rivers to get the water. But government has done many changes, and it put the pipelines in different places, from the rivers, from the lakes, and provided water at the home only. Okay, then what is wastewater management? Wastewater, that is drainage system. Okay, whatever the wastewater should be managed properly. If it is not managed properly, what will happen? There is a pollution. Okay, so we are not able, it will lower down the standard of living of the country. So all these goals were before the India, and it works for the same. So after that, what happened? After the World Trade Organization, Indian government has signed one more agreement with the South Asian Preferential Trade Agreement, SAPTA, SAPTA. Okay. After that, India removed the import restrictions on several commodities for the SHARC countries. Can anybody give the full form of the SHARC? SAARK. I want from new students. So, afterwards, I'll give the correct answer. SHARC. What is the full form of the SHARC? SAARC. Yes, it is. Sneha, little bit changes should be done, so it will be correct. Okay, I'm getting some answers. Let some more students to answer the questions. Then afterwards, I'll announce the correct answer. Okay. Okay. I got many answers from many students. So now I'm announcing the answer. SHARC, the full form of the SHARC, stand for South. Okay, then first A stand for Asian. You can write it down if you want. South Asian Association, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Okay, Asian Association for Regional Corporation. Now I'll give the name of the countries who are the member of this SHAC. They were Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Okay, it was founded at the place Dhaka. The date of the foundation was 8th December 1985. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Okay, so there are total 8 members of the SHAC. Okay, so India, what happened? Okay, I'll repeating again, beta. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. The member countries are Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. It was the place where it founded. It was Dhaka. Date of the foundation was 8th December 1985. Okay. Yes. Most welcome, beta. So now let us discuss now what happened after that. The import duties on these SHAC nations have been reduced. Okay. Then India opened up the insurance sector to private and foreign investment. Okay. So now what happened? What we have discussed in this lesson? Yeah, it was a very long lesson. We took a many uh, lectures. So we have discussed all about our Indian economy after independence, how it get worsened, and then after that, how it get to strengthen towards the development. Okay, so what happened in this? Yeah, we are the SHAC members. Yes. Okay, now what happened? The major role played by the new economic policy. The new economic policy has brought a lot of changes in the society, and it started to develop the economy of the country. Okay, and still we are developing in the same way. Okay, so now we are going to discuss some question answers. Okay. Let me revise everything, whatever we have discussed till now in this lesson. Uh, I want to know what is a mixed economy. And I want your own answers, not from your textbook. I want answer from your understanding. What do you mean by mixed economy? If you want to give answer by speaking, just raise your hand so I can allow you to give the answer. Okay. Very good, Manjima. Yes, Ashka, I allowed you to unmute. Just answer the question. Very good, Mayank. Very good, Shradha. Yes, Ashka, just give your answer.
Ma'am, in mixed of economic means in capitalism system, there is a production of privately owned, and socialist system means production of owned by the state. And in there are three type of sectors, that is public sector, private sector, and joint sector. And mixed economy gives priority to national interest and the industrial policy resolution proposed to increase the speed of industrialization and priority was given, and that much.
Okay. You can unmute yourself, Pita. Now, yes, well, many of the students have given the correct answer. Prashant, Simran, and others, Shruti, Aryan, very nice. Now, I'll announce the answer. What is the mixed economy? Mixed economy is an economy where both private and public sector work together. Okay, and as they work together, so they have three parts of it. The first is the public sector, second is the private sector, and the third is the joint sector. Is that clear to everyone? Now, after that, we have discussed the objectives and the fundamental principles of the planning. Then we have discussed the goals of the plan. Some students have the goal confusion in the goal of the plan. So whatever the goals we have decided in the during the planning commission, that we have tried to achieve in the different 5-year plans. Okay, so we have discussed in the different 5-year plans the goals that to increase in the national income to bring a rapid development in industrialization, and be fulfill self-sufficient for the agricultural production, and bring the human resource. Yes, to get more and more involvement of the human resource, as we have a large amount of human resources in our country, so give more and more employment to them. Okay, then yes, then remove the inequality in the earning and the wealth. Okay, after that we also work put a goal to stable the prices of the commodity. It should not goes on increasing and decreasing day by day. After that, we have discussed, we have set the goal to control the population. Why need to control the growth of population? Because if we are able to control the growth of population, so it is very easy to improve the standard of living, as the rate of the population is very rapid, and in the same way the production cannot be done, so it is very difficult to give basic necessities for each born child. So there is a need for the reduce the growth rate of the population and increase the production of the commodity. So because of that, what will happen? The standard of living will increase. Then remove the or eradicate the poverty, develop the social services. Social services, we already know which are the social services which we work for the common people, to provide more and more a comfort life. Okay, then self-sufficient economy. These were the goals which we have gone through different 5-year plans. Okay, in first 5-year plan, there's a more attention is given to the primary sector. Primary sector in the sense the government, the agriculture, all the things which related to the agriculture, that is coming to the primary sector. So more and more influence is given to the primary sector in the second 5-year plan. The secondary sector got the more influence, as secondary sector means all the organizations or industries which work on the product of the primary sector. Okay, the product of the outcome of the primary sector is the raw material for the secondary sector. Okay, so after that, what happened? In third 5-year plan, there is a balance has been made between the primary sector and the secondary sector. And then in fourth 5-year plan, what happened? The government has started to become self-reliant, and before that it develops many basic industries. Then in fifth five-year plan, it deals with the goal of making the country self-sufficient economically, in the terms of the economy. And the sixth five-year plan, the government work for the alleviating the poverty, which and generate more and more employment, which the goal which has not been completed yet till the year 1980. Then after that, in the seventh five-year plan, government put a stress on the food and employment and productivity. Okay. After that, in the eighth five-year plan, what we have discussed that the government is work for the privatization. Okay. And that is after 1991. We have discussed the new economic policy which has come in 1991. So after 1991, the privatization has been started. Okay. Now you are able to correlate the economic, the new economic policy and the five-year plan. Then in ninth five-year plan, more focus on the agriculture and the rural development has been done. Then we have discussed the nationalization of the we have discussed the nationalization of the bank. Why there's a need for the nationalization of the bank? Because on the bank has getting more profits, and to share this profit to the government, the many banks have been uh, nationalized. Okay. One of the example is the Imperial Bank, which nationalized and it became the State Bank of India. It was nationalized in the 1995. After that, we have discussed about the 20-point programs, which has different objectives, which work for the alleviating the poverty and bring out the balance in the society. Okay, within the lower class and the higher class. Then we have discussed the issue of the workers. Okay. Where we discuss about the problem which was emerged in the year 1980 with the because of the Diwali bonus, which has been reduced from 20% to 7 to 18%, sorry, 8 to 17%. Then this lead to the that agitation against the meal worker, that meal uh, entrepreneurs, and because of that, the Girgaon, which is known as the town of the mills, gets stopped, and because of that, the heart of the Mumbai has been stopped, which were the cities, or which were the places which are included in the Girga. They are the Dadar, Parel, Bhaikalla, Shivdi, Prabha Devi, and Worli. Okay. After that, we have discussed how all the agitators, those who revolt, or those who stand against the mill, that mill industrialists, they got unemployed after a year of one. Okay, after 1 year, they means 1.5 lakh workers get unemployed because of their agitation. Okay, then we have discussed about the new economic policy. Then what was the problem in the 1991, and why the new economic policy has been came, and then we have discussed the remedies which has been brought by the our uh, finance minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, who worked a lot for developing the economy of the country, and for that he has done he has removed the restrictions on many things. For example, foreign exchange, then start giving the license to the industries, then open the public sector for investment by the private sector. Okay. We can say after that, the mortgages which and the overloan which has been burdening the country is also been reduced by the rules or the laws made by the Manmohan Singh. Then we became the part of the World Trade Organization, and we work and we goes on the progress of the economy. Slowly and gradually, we become the part of many organization, many international platform, because we adopted the policy of the LPG, that is liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So we become the part of the GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Then we became the part of the SAPTA, that is South Asian Preferential Trade Agreement. Then a new, we can say, organization has been formed, which includes all the most of the subcontinent countries. Yeah, I hope you know what you mean by subcontinent Asian country. So a new organization has been formed, that is SAC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Okay, who are the countries which were involved in it? The first country was the Afghanistan. Yes, very good. Then I want from you students, India. Okay, Nepal, very nice. Maldives, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, very nice. Bangladesh. Okay, so these all are the countries which were the part of the SHAC. It was founded, the place of foundation I want from you students. Where does it? Very good, Bhumi. It was Dhaka. Then in which year? I want the date. I given the date, beta. 8th December 1985. Very nice, students. Okay. Now after, so we have discussed all these things. Okay.